Yo, welcome back to Banter Trimz. Please remember to like, subscribe and leave your comments. The wave this week on the show is back-to-back wins for Arsenal, Liverpool's new kit deal, Meghan and Harry. Boy, I don't know what's going on there, but we're going to find out the views from the people in the shop. Plus much more. Join us in the shop. Yo, welcome to Banter Trimz, another Saturday in the barbershop with my panel. Today we're going to start a bit differently. I wanted to wait for Tosh for this one.
As yeah.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. So I wanted to start differently today with something a bit away from smooth. Harry and Meghan.
Yeah, we've had this chat.
Stepping down. I mean, okay, the first question I'm going to ask is, do you feel that this was set in stone as soon as he said that he wanted to marry her? Do you think this was set in stone?
By who? By the royal family?
Yeah.
That they would force them out?
Yeah, that basically if you're going to make this move...
Yeah, you can't really be about.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that.
You don't think that?
No, I think that it's transpired. He thinks, I don't want to be around this. This is long, this is my family, I like her, and we're having a family together and all the rest of it. I don't want to be married. They licked down his mum. Yeah. They did, let's be honest. I know the terminology in the world.
Mind that chat.
I don't care. I don't care about that.
I'm listening.
I don't care about
talk about that NBC.
They licked down his mum, he's not having it today.
Mind that chat.
Yeah. I'm the MP for Shirley if anybody wants to know. Joking aside, and it must be frightening for him. It must be frightening for him. Like I was saying to some of the guys, I saw
food time.
And we just talking about food as well, you know. We get blessed this morning, boy.
I saw an image of Princess Diana in the car many years ago.
Yeah.
I can still see it in my head right now.
Of course.
So it's not
Candle in the window.
candle and all that type of stuff. So it must be just scary for the brother. Like, I think he's made the decision. I'm not doing all this. I'm not going to conform to what you lot want, man. That's what I think. That's my view.
And you know what? I think this is just a manifestation of public, a shift in public feeling. We've gone from in our lifetime, certain things were not, we was quite liberal, or on the surface we appeared as Brits as quite a liberal people. And when you see the shift.
What is the issue with Meghan and Harry?
Melanin. There's melanin in their skin.
So what do you take exception to?
I don't take any exception.
So what are we taking exception to?
Are we speaking on the public and the roles?
Well, I'm just asking. We're talking about it. Why are we even talking about it?
Shall I take an exception? I just saw a headline on the telly that says Meghan and Harry, royal fury.
Yeah.
Or public fury.
Yeah.
What? Let the people do what they want. They've chosen, like you said earlier, they've chosen just not to do public stuff. That's their business. They just want to be. They don't want to do all the bits and pieces. We're going to leave the country for some time of the year. So what?
Yeah.
I think from
so
when
what? That's what I take exception to.
So why are we even talking about it?
Because from when they got hit, from the moment they got hit, even in the lead up, there's been a sustained campaign of hate against them. When his older brother got married, there was a directive put out that respect them, respect their privacy, allow them to enjoy married life, and protect and respect their family. Because of what happened to their mother, we don't want to repeat. Now with the younger sibling, all bets are now off all of a sudden. Yeah. All of a sudden, from the jump, there's been a sustained campaign against them. I think when you combine that with the fact that at least on appearances alone, within the family, they're not getting the support that they need. I'm assuming there's some tension. They said we're off. Yeah. The younger sibling said, I'm not, you know what, you did this to my mother, you ain't doing this to me. There's actually an interview out there. There's an interview saying, if you knew what I knew, you'd be protected from my... There's a video out there, him saying, I am not having, I'm respecting my family.
it'd be more preventable in Canada than what it is.
Yeah, minimize the risk.
Everybody knows. If anything, it'll be easier.
Eh? What?
If that's
No. They want the press over there, the press association over there, is not like over here. Over here, it's right, and they go like they're allowing the situation to happen instead of students. If you think Harry's William's wife would get what Meghan gets?
No, exactly.
But this is my point, Uncle. They were like before when they got married. There was a director, whoever the royal family's press office wrote to the media in general and said, please allow them in it. To my knowledge, the same thing that happened for the younger one. You understand? They could have nipped this in the bud from the beginning, but they've allowed them to have a field day. And we know why. We know why. Do you know what I mean? The queen to be, what's her name? I can't remember. Kate. Like, I don't want to get murdered, Royals, but there's certain history, alleged history about her that the press don't really want to talk about. Like, wasn't her husband going out with her brethren and all sorts of stuff like that? What's his name? The prince. What's his name?
Oh, wasn't William?
All this controversy.
And the wickedest thing, you know what works as well? What? Tell me what Meghan's done wrong.
No, but there's certain, what I'm saying, I'm not saying it's true, it's allegedly, but ultimately, the press could have really run with stuff like that, and they haven't.
I just like to say, for the record, in case this is being watched by anyone in any authority,
we cannot confirm or deny.
Right?
I don't have issue with with Kate and what's his face. I just have issue with my only issue is the press. My issue is the press. What happens in families happens in families. It's the press being allowed to assassinate the character of these people just because we know why.
But she knew that. She knew that before she got married. She knew.
But you would have.
Not to that level.
She knew.
So
it's naive to think that she did not.
I agree with Gary.
She knew. No, I agree with her. She knew what she was getting into, but she didn't realise how bad it was.
No, but this is
why every day. There's something about her and cussing her. There's nothing good about her.
This is why I don't think it's.
No, it's not the matter of don't read the newspaper. It's the fact that it's in the newspaper. So what?
It's not just in the newspaper. You cannot get away from it.
Can't get away from it. It's everywhere.
I see the newspaper. My little 20-minute drive to work.
So in that program of Suits, right? I think there's a scene where she's either topless or she's.
Yeah.
So if she's prepared to do that on screen, what's a little bit of press in the newspaper?
A little bit of press.
No, but that's what Gary.
She's feeding jihadists and all that.
Right, no. He's proper scared they're gonna come and get you.
You're prepared to get your bits and bobs out
Gary,
on film.
Have you got something?
For someone else's entertainment, little man, cover your ears. For someone else's entertainment, then what's the problem? Yeah, she's a bright girl.
That's work, though.
She's a Catholic. She's a bright Catholic.
That is work, though.
No,
Gary.
Gary,
This is her life. This is her life. There's a difference.
She's a powerful woman.
This is why I said.
This would not surprise me if this is a career move. She's busting.
No, Gary, but this is why I said. This is why I said earlier. I don't think. Gary.
He's hungry.
He's acting. He's acting as the rawest of the group today. Gary, this is why I said earlier.
Anyway.
You wanted to repeat
Gary,
same statement.
Gary,
He just said something.
Everyone's watching this.
Gary, this is why I said earlier. I don't necessarily just think it was Meghan pushed this agenda. I think because of what happened to Diana, I think my man's got hang-ups from when he was a kid.
And then
He's gone on. He's been interviewed and said he's seen. If you knew what I knew, you'd go all out to protect my family.
Personally,
what does that? He said that in an interview. It's out there on the internet.
Personally, I think his missus has been in his ear, and he is going through the path of least resistance. So he's saying,
I don't agree with that.
I think that.
No.
I think he's got deep-rooted hang-ups from when he was a child.
How old was he in 1997? Give me a number.
He was about
10.
6 or 7.
He was that little, was he?
Don't get me wrong.
Soldier's age.
Don't get me wrong.
Roughly.
If
Come on, man. That's
If the incident with Diana didn't happen,
And you probably might have heard things as well.
on top of that,
You know, as kids, sometimes you hear things.
on top of that, he knows if he had his dad, like his dad was living with his dad then.
Of course, but all I'm saying is that in relation to this particular issue, I think his missus has been in his ear saying, like, I don't want to stay here anymore for whatever reason. Yeah, whether it's because there's too much intrusion or I think she's making a career move or whatever. She said, look, I don't want to live in this country anymore.
Well, and he did.
no, but Gary,
He would have
Gary,
said,
you're not.
if she turned around and said, I'm happy to stay.
I don't completely disagree with you, but what I'm saying to you is this: if circumstances were different and Diana wasn't dead, the Princess Diana wasn't dead, he might have put up a bit more resistance. I can agree with that. To that extent, but I just feel because of what's happened to his mother in the past, he's more susceptible to say, do you know what? Yeah, I don't want this for my wife. I'm gonna go.
Whatever the justification, whatever the justification, but all I'm saying, looking at that dynamic there, right, and you know, all of us are either married or been in long-term relationships. You know what it can get like when your other half is constantly talking in your ear.
Gary,
Basically,
If you've got the option, you would.
No, man.
If you've got the option, you would.
Gary, in your house, when you're picking a bottle of wine, yeah, does she want something else? What do you do?
I get two.
There you go.
That's like, you get that one, I get that one.
Simple.
You find a compromise in the middle, don't you?
But
But
not
moving
all
country.
men.
Okay.
All men can withstand that pressure.
When you're moving your house into your house you're in now, year now, 2 year and a half, 2 years.
Yes.
So when you're picking that house, did you just go and say, look, we're moving in there on Tuesday? You went through the motions with her. You chose with her, she picked this and all the rest of it, and I choose £1,000 sink and all that. So there was a decision made, wasn't it, between the two of you? It wasn't just one side. She could say, right, we're going to live in Cherney.
When your missus is in your ear about whatever.
Yeah.
Say
I
you
do
have
nothing wrong, by the way. Can I wear
Yeah.
the camera?
When your missus is in your ear about whatever.
Absolutely nothing wrong.
Do
Yes.
you not always? You may not always make that choice, but do you not always look for the path of least resistance?
The
Do you
easy
not always
path.
think to yourself, you know what?
No, I don't.
What would
I
make
don't.
that?
I don't.
You may not
I don't.
make that decision.
No, I don't.
No,
I
there's
don't.
certain-
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because certain times it ain't right. I don't agree with that, so I'm just
I
not
agree
doing
with
it.
you. Yeah, I agree with you.
I will
Right?
have
I
to
agree
agree.
with you.
It doesn't
But that's
mean
not to say that you don't think right. What will make her happy? I'm not saying that you make that decision.
Yeah, yes, okay, of course I do,
Right.
of course I do.
All I'm saying is that a lot of men are not able to resist that pressure.
What,
a
when
lot
you-
of men will, and women by the way, they will bow down to the pressures of their partner. That's just the way.
and that's
No,
and Gary.
no,
But in
no,
this
no,
case, this is what I'm saying. Under normal circumstances,
No,
we might have a point. But his mum
that is true.
alleged. Look what happened to his mum.
That's
That's why he's probably even more open to doing that.
Agreed.
in a relationship, that is true.
Yeah, but
No,
not to the
we're
level
not
of
saying
you're a prince, you're one of the Prince England, and you're giving up your royal, all of that. Not because of her, remember, and like Roberta said, it's because of his mother. And he's scared of what's taken place. I have seen the images of his mum in the back of that car. Up to today, and that was 20 odd years ago, it's naughty.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's seen, and like I said, and there's additional stuff he knows, things that's gone around the palace.
And remember, straight away. Yeah, but straight away she's a black woman.
What he's saying is if you look
No,
in the
no, we're not
context of
saying
what
that.
he's saying is, hold on, where is Archie at this present time?
He was
He's
like,
in Canada.
He's kind of, he wasn't there.
Yeah,
There's no
but
problem winning.
remember, Archie is
And
a
he's seen
royal.
like
Yeah.
He's a royal.
Yeah.
And where is Archie at the moment? Right, and what
Don't
happened?
he
Both of them
look
came.
similar to Megan in terms
Yeah,
of tone? He's looking, he's looking.
Yeah.
The house that my wife is
Yeah.
getting, that was him.
Yeah.
And then they're gone.
Yeah.
Right. So Archie is in Canada. They came back and they made a statement about what they
She
were.
left.
And she bounced.
No. What I'm trying to say is they left the royal baby in Canada.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So what does that tell you?
So what that tells you is exactly what Gary is saying is perfectly correct.
What do you mean?
She is saying, yo, this is what's happening. And he's saying, I'm following that line. But he left his own job. I'm telling you. Hold on.
I agree to an extent what you say.
Hold on.
And they made a decision, the two of them.
But what you just said is, I don't agree. I will keep my position.
No, I didn't say that. What I thought, going on to the scenario,
Yeah.
that does my missus all the while, do I follow her line?
Right.
And I said, no, I don't.
And what I'm trying to make you aware of is that is that they left the royal baby in a country where the royal baby was not born. So in other words, who's now pushing the narrative?
No.
Right.
Meghan.
But Meghan is running the narrative because how can you hold on? It's your child. You're the prince you're a prince, and you left your child in Canada. So the wife is now saying
why not? I've got bodyguards and all this leaving the baby. It's not a problem with me.
Where's
I know that.
you left your baby in a country.
No, but remember, she flew there to make
but what
to
I'm
make
trying to say is that what he's saying.
Yeah, I know, but what
listen
I'm
to
saying
what
is
he's
that-
saying is that at the end of the day, a decision's been made, and sometimes you as the father listen to what the wife's saying and saying, yeah, that's correct.
I agree with that.
And that's what's happened. That's what he's trying to
But
say.
I think we're slightly doing. Sorry to cut you. Doing my man a disservice. I truly do believe it. I think it's to do with what's happened to his mother. He's seen it's manifesting itself again.
Tosh, he's come out with that. He's come out with that and said the press basically.
If you knew what I knew,
If
you knew what I knew,
this wasn't before.
I'm saying what Gary's point is he's taken the point of least resistance. He's listened to the royal issue, he's listened to the wife, and he's saying, you know what, wife is right, we're moving.
But I don't think
he's strong.
The whole
he feels strongly about it.
because of what happened because his mum.
Who was the main person who decided on this?
don't be
And
surprised.
I think it was him. I think it was
Harry
him.
said
And
something.
it was
You're
him.
not gonna do my family like you did my mum.
Okay.
He said it.
Okay.
He did.
Okay,
Do
let's
not
put it
be
this
surprised,
way.
right?
Let's
Do not be surprised if they break up. I'm not saying they're going to break up tomorrow.
No,
I'm not going to break up next year, but do not be surprised if in 5 years' time these guys aren't different.
Okay, but yeah,
Because of what? Because of what?
The
Well,
pressure.
I think
Well, it won't be done if they're
this has to be
for
run.
him, even if he turns around, even if he genuinely believes that he wants to leave this country, right, and give up whatever, not that he's giving up much, by the way, let's face it, but even if he said, right, I'm prepared to say my home now is Canada, I think at some point he's going to think to himself, you know what, I don't want to do this.
But the thing is,
My friends,
it's not just he's leaving.
Who's he got in Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Apart from his wife.
Yeah, but that's why he said he's gonna go on board.
Yeah, that's
So,
what.
do
Between
you
our
not be
time.
surprised?
Between both.
Do not be
Right,
surprised.
and that's why his point is probably right. He's taken the route of least resistance because if you look at his history, how does he get to Canada or over this period of time? The wife, because she's lived in Toronto, so she's the one that's driven that, and that's why I'm saying Gary's point is
Also
correct.
as well, in terms of North America,
Yeah.
Canada is a better option for them. It's a safer option for them. Logistically, the whole night of moving to LA or something is mad.
Yeah, but you just don't land in Canada
But it's part of the
unless
Commonwealth
one
as
of the
well.
people have a feeling for it.
Yeah,
They got a network there.
Yeah.
They got
Because I always say that if I was to chick from here, I'll go to Canada. My missus doesn't want to do that. She finds it's too cold or whatever. But I'm saying I'm going Canada. So at the end of the day, sooner or later, somebody drives that narrative, and I think Meghan has.
All I'm saying, sorry, is I'm not disagreeing with either of you per se. I'm just saying I don't think we should, like the public are trying to, or whoever the public and the media are trying to suggest it's her. It's not just her. This dude's come out on TV and said live, you are not doing my family like you did my mother. So he's got this as a movie. So even if she thought it was going to be...
You're coming to a royal family and you're mixed. You're mixed race, and straight away you got the black this, the black that,
and then you knew that before they got.
No, but that's not the case.
That before they got married.
So what
But
did you
Gary,
do?
You didn't just become.
Gary.
So what do you
But
do?
she's part of Hollywood, but she has never ever received this scrutiny in a not even close. Like
I
Beyonce
agree.
and Jay-Z
I
don't
agree.
get this.
I
This is
agree.
different gravy.
I agree. But what I'm saying to you is that she's intelligent, she's bright, she's powerful. She knew the
She's
deal.
also a woman who I would love to get married to a
Listen,
prince.
she knew the
It's
deal
all
before they
part
got
of the
married.
narrative.
Now you're
Yeah, but
going into the narrative of the media.
But that's what the narrative is being pushed.
So
Where
what?
they're females,
There's
they wanna
many
get
women
married
that
to
would have
rich.
said that.
Listen.
I want to get married to a rich man. So what? It's just something you say. There's nothing wrong.
Okay, but I'm just saying,
That's not-
it sounds great on
Yeah,
paper,
but what I'm trying
but
to
in
say
reality,
is, yeah, but you said that as if to say, you know, there was an agenda.
no, I never said
behind
that. No, that's
yeah,
what
but
I'm saying.
well,
I'm saying it's
look how
like
you've
for
manipulated
women, for a lot
into
of
the
women,
context.
it's a fairy tale. It
Yeah, exactly.
sounds great
Yeah.
in your head.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an agenda.
Look, basically, I think the conversation's gone like this, right? She's a strong black woman. And she said to her man, look, I'm raising this child in Canada. Right? So you can stay here.
I don't think so.
But she
Yeah.
could have said
Stay
because
here, or
because
you
of
become with
past
us.
things, and he
But
might
she
think,
is
yeah,
saying,
I agree
look,
with
I'm
that.
raising my child.
exactly.
Because hold on,
That's what
he
she
already
said.
came
I
out.
think that's
He already
Gary.
came out at the end of last year and said he doesn't even really mess with Will.
Yeah.
He said he didn't really mess with his brother.
Then
Then you got the stuff going on with, is it the uncle
Yeah.
with the young girl?
Andrew.
Yeah,
And you know how peak it is.
And you know what happened here? I was listening to LBC. Kate, you know they keep a party for Kate, for Will one.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Kate.
Kate, innit?
And they even
You know
invite
they
them.
invite none of them.
Yeah.
They're not even in the pictures.
This is
They're
what I'm
not even in
saying.
the Christmas
The
pictures.
pastor is within the family and in the press. Do you know how peak it is?
And
Hold on,
everybody's
do you know how
circle.
peak it is? Uncle is caught up in. I'm not even gonna
You
go
know that,
there.
and you know
Yeah.
French go Christmas.
Right. Uncle's caught up in that passer. Uncle's caught up in that passer. Yeah. The Queen didn't say she was disappointed with him for that, but she's disappointed in my man.
No. I
son,
have to correct you on
her
that.
son.
She did say they were disappointed that he went and done the interview without getting
because
involved.
of
So
But
they
she
were
didn't say
disappointed.
Yeah, but the thing is,
But they were
allegations.
disappointed. They
disappointed
did
for the
say that.
interview, but you
But
know,
not disappointed in him for making the
From-
decision.
She said she was disappointed that he went
Well,
and get
well,
again.
well,
As you saying, allegedly something has happened.
Allegedly.
No, he went to the pedo's house.
We're not talking about where he went.
You're in depth with us either.
We're not talking about where he went.
I stayed for a week. I stayed for a week to say goodbye.
Nobody's disagreeing with that. Nobody's not disagreeing with that. Nobody's not disagreeing with that. His statement was she wasn't disappointed. She did make a statement.
Okay, I may have been mistaken.
I'm not having a go at what I'm just trying to say that
no.
he.
But why
She
you,
did
why,
say-
why are you disappointed in just the interview? You should be disappointed. The
Yeah,
man
right.
went to the man's house saying, "Oh, I'm going to tell him I don't want to be his friend." You stayed there for 4 days.
Yeah. But
What
you
you
see,
there for 4
this
days?
is
You go and say,
why.
"Brethren, I don't want to."
This is
How about you just
why
pick up the
what
phone?
he's
There's
saying.
phone,
is
there's
correct.
an email,
Yeah.
Facebook. There's so many ways to communicate.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's why his point is correct. Is that you're looking at all these things, and instead of dealing with that, you're saying, "Oh, Meghan's decided to take the royal baby and Harry to
It's
Canada."
all about deflection from Andrew.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all about
That's
deflection
what it's
from
about.
Andrew, man.
Yes,
And
you
this
know
is
when we
why-
use the word diversion
and this-
tactics.
Hold on.
That's
And
what's
this is
happened.
why. And this is why statements have come out. We're disappointed at the decision because it feeds the flame of
Rewind.
what's going on. And all of a sudden, no one's talking about
At
my man.
Christmas, did you see Andrew go to church round the back?
Yes.
You know they all go to church Christmas Day?
Yeah,
they
they
all
say
go to
come
church.
round the back.
You saw a shadow of him in some bushes going around that thing. On my life.
You know they said you remember Arsene Wenger was talking about Mourinho in the bushes, the boy. That's what they were talking
Well, so
about.
what does that say? That means that they've been told you'll not let no one see you. Keep your head down. Then Harry's gone with all this. Oh, lovely.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That is the key here. All of this is just a smoke screen.
Thank you.
All of this is just a
Yes,
smoke
yeah.
screen. The simple fact of the matter is that the woman said, "Look, I'm raising my baby in Canada. Alright? You can stay here or you can come."
No,
Right?
but
He's
Gary,
like,
you're right.
No.
She would have said,
You're
"You're
Gary,
saying,
Gary,
you can
Gary,
send me
Gary.
some cum."
Gary,
That's
Gary,
fine, man.
Gary,
Yeah,
Gary.
but the way you're saying
basics.
Yeah, but the way
Gary.
you're saying it, Gary, is
Gary.
that she made the decision. and
Now,
that
Gary,
was
you're
it.
right. It is a smoke screen, but one thing I have to tell you is this: if Harry didn't want to leave, there's no way that child leaves the UK. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Listen,
This is Prince.
from when he married that
This is the
woman,
royal family.
from
Listen,
when he married that woman, right?
Gary.
They would literally
Gary,
something.
Gary.
I don't even want to say.
Gary. That youth would not leave the country if my man didn't have my man's blessing.
If she wanted to take the baby and he didn't, he would have told his man.
And it would have been it. It would have been it.
Listen, you can't marry that woman there, right? And expect to get away with it.
You can't marry.
And whilst she's got breath in her lungs, yeah? If she wants to take that baby to Canada, she's taking the baby to Canada. If she wants to raise that, if she wants to raise her children in a different country, that's what she's going to do.
No, that's with his blessing. If
Well,
he was
not with no
she
prince,
ain't
though.
leaving.
She
no,
can't run that with no
you ain't
prince.
leaving.
No way. You can stay here and I'm gonna go there. Can you imagine that? What that would be for the
I'm not
media?
saying to you, I'm not saying to you, if they got into an argument,
Yeah.
and she's turned around and said that, and he said, and if, not even if they got into an argument, if he has said no, then obviously the baby ain't dead. Yeah? We will
But he's in
understand.
an agreement.
We'll
Yeah.
understand. That he agrees with it.
Yeah.
No,
And that's the point.
I don't think we're
That's the
essentially
point.
agreeing
She
the
has
same.
made
We
the
agree
decision.
that he agrees, but
He has made
it's
that-
slightly
she has
the
made that
reasons
decision.
behind.
And
Yeah,
she
the
said,
reasons behind,
That's what it
I'm
is.
raising this child in Canada. You can stay here, or you can come with us. And he's decided to come.
It's not a stay here though, Gary. I know. It's not you can
I
stay
think this is
here.
basic.
That's not happening.
I think this is basic.
That is not happening. No way.
No way.
The media would have a frenzy with that.
Strong black.
Of course they would know. He'd be here and she'd be
She's a
there.
strong black woman. We
It
should
doesn't
be,
matter
we
whether
should be
she's a
celebrating it. We should, as black people, we should
Hold on.
be
So
celebrating.
all this what he's been saying about his mum getting killed, the press, this, and every minute they're hounding his wife.
Sausage right, it's a smoke screen.
Smoke screen for what?
It's
Well,
a
for the
strong
Prince
man.
Andrew story.
Let me say this
But this
thing.
was before.
Have you never heard
No, Tosh.
that when there's a time to bury bad news?
Tosh.
That's
Yeah.
what they've used.
Yeah.
Burying the bad
They've
news?
used
Yeah.
their
But this
issue
was
to
before.
bury
This
Andrew's
This was
nonsense.
before Andrew. He was saying all this before Andrews.
He
Yeah,
might have
he
been
was-
saying it.
100%
He might have been
About
saying it, but
Yeah,
they didn't
that's-
think they were going to implement it. Then they went for 6 or 7 weeks
Yes,
in
went
the
there,
North
did.
America.
Yeah,
Nobody heard nothing about them. You saw everything about Andrew.
And she would have been there.
And then what they done?
Yeah, because they
is
didn't expect her to
You
come
could
back.
go down to the shop, no
Yeah,
problem,
yeah.
no paparazzi in the bush. So she
Paparazzi are everywhere.
Gary.
Paparazzi are everywhere.
Gary.
Yeah,
Everywhere. She knows
You're not wrong, but
Okay,
you're not right. There's no way she's ever just walked into the
No,
shops.
no,
Yeah?
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Remember the monarch has got 20 odd countries they could have gone, you know.
Yeah,
But they went to Canada
Commonwealth.
because
All the
she's
Commonwealth.
connected to it.
yeah. Remember,
So she
Because
is
it's also,
driving this
you got to
narrative.
remember,
No.
it's also
It
an
is.
international operation. In terms of protecting them,
They could have gone Australia.
No, but
they could
what
have
I'm
gone
saying
New
is, in
Zealand.
terms of
they could have gone
protecting
to
them-
one of the
No, but
British
the thing is,
colonial
you've got-
countries.
Yeah, you've got-
Anywhere.
Oh,
Tosh,
but if they got
so
South
in
Africa.
terms of protecting them,
Yeah.
it makes sense them got, like you said, going to Australia, going kind of places. It makes sense because they know the Canadian government will be part of that operation as well. It's not just going to be a couple men from the Secret Service dealing them.
Strong black
But
women.
the local police, whoever, and everyone else is going to be doing it.
Celebrating what? Celebrating. The fact that a strong black woman has made that decision.
That's correct.
and
Yeah, but
she's
no
got-
one's disagreeing with that. The decision.
We're just talking.
We're talking about the reasons behind the decision.
None of us are opposed to that.
That's the reason
So
why.
Matt, listen, from when she first said, you were right,
They could have gone Australia with the
Yeah, I know.
polar bears.
We all know that she knew she was gonna get hounded because when on that documentary she said, my English friend said to her, "What, you're gonna marry the prince? You're gonna get all this hassle and everything." And the American friends were saying, "Yeah, go for it. It's good and that." So she thought, yeah, I'll have a little press incident and that, but it ain't gonna be
Maybe
that
that
much.
deep.
But when
Didn't
she's
realise.
come in, everything has gone from
Listen.
being she's black this, she's a jihadist
Right.
this.
Do you know, the reason I disagree with that is for this simple reason, right? Look how they
jihadist.
treated the man.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Right? Look how they treat the man.
So she
she
must
knows.
so for the
She's
simple
got she's
so
got
for
an
the simple
example
fact
right there.
so
Look at how they treat the mum. So she knows what she said herself.
so okay then you bring a girl home that you like and everything and like that. Your mum says, "Why haven't I like her? You're gonna get rid of her."
Mum said that all the time.
Yeah, my mum said that.
And what happened? Did you keep her?
And that no, but that's
Did you keep
that's
her?
the mum's
No,
prerogative.
got rid of
That
it.
is the mum's prerogative.
Or was it something you was?
That is the parent's prerogative.
Eh?
Right? That is the parent's prerogative.
Right.
As a parent, you are allowed to say to your son or daughter, I don't like your partner. And your son and daughter can't say no. Because that's the way it is.
Yeah. But if you
Doesn't
love the person,
mean-
if you
doesn't
love the
mean you don't
person,
end up marrying them.
And trust me.
But if
Yeah.
you love
I'm
the
like
person,
that.
wouldn't you?
And you know that.
Yeah.
Mate,
Make my
and I'm
daughter
looking
bring home
forward to
something
being like
that
I'm
ain't
looking
working.
forward to being
Yeah,
like
but
The
the thing
front
is,
door's that
but
way.
I'm
the
looking
front door's
forward
that
to
way. But what you haven't done,
Yeah.
the front door's that way. But what
Yeah.
you haven't done is you haven't mashed up their love. All you've done is just set
Yeah, that's cool.
on. But what I'm saying is that that's what they done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't like what's going on here. You know what I mean? I love my wife. I want to look after my family. I'm going.
But at the same time,
Listen, they have sacrificed Meg and what's his name? The bench Andrew.
Yeah.
They have sacrificed them. They've sacrificed them.
Losing that line.
but listen, you have to understand, yeah. Harry has been a wild card anyway. He's always been the wild card.
Gunfinger Harry, innit?
Gunfinger Harry in America with P. Diddy and that partying. Harry's always been the wild card. Always. He's always thought, you know what, I'm just going to do what I want to do. You don't know what you've done, so I'm just going to do what I do. Because you don't want me to mash this up, innit?
He's always been
Remember, Harry's the one that wore the Nazi uniform, you know?
Yeah.
So he's always had his own.
Harry was always going to get like that.
And is he really wrong? He's out there.
You know what? Let's move on. Hold on.
These times when we started, Gary's going,
I'm not getting into that conversation.
I don't have nothing to say.
I'm not getting into that. That's like saying Lewis Hamilton shouldn't be Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Listen,
You know what I mean?
and he should have been knighted 4 years ago.
Right, so let's move on.
He's not going to get knighted.
Moderator.
Fan Nation.
Yeah.
Fan Nation.
TV blogger, internet blogger.
Yeah, mate, you'll have them crazy royalists running up on you outside the barbershop, mate.
Come on.
You know what I'm getting? Remember, I'm Nigerian and they could easily revoke my passport. So I'm getting trolled.
Don't give him a reason.
Alright, so on to the next topic. I want to speak, obviously, as we're speaking about the Royals, I want to carry on with obviously race. Do you not know what happened with Balotelli in Italy?
Yeah, when he's on the pitch, when he's playing.
That's
the
my
game.
boy,
So basically, he
man.
was playing, he scored to put them in the lead. And obviously, there was monkey chops and stuff like that in the crowd.
Told the ref, innit?
Lazio got fined. I think it was
17,000.
17,000. Yeah.
17,000.
so it was, so about 20,000 euros. But also, there was a Man City fan who's been banned for 5 years for racist abuse against Sterling, and then they're saying there's no evidence of racism against Rudiger from Chelsea.
From the Tottenham fans.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that all week, mate.
Yeah.
So the
That's a
police
very
and
touchy
the Tottenham
subject.
fans found no evidence at all.
To
That's what they're saying, to support.
or contradict the statement made by Rudiger. I think that's
don't know how
very
you
important.
I don't know how you
No.
can contradict that statement.
Okay.
How do
Did you
contradict
see
that
the statement by Tottenham Hotspurs, Gary?
I'm just saying, how do you
Gary, we're all
contradict that
smart
statement?
people, man. Come on, it's some things are bigger than football. They're saying the accusations, sorry, not the statement. They're saying there's no evidence to support or contradict the statement. So what they're saying is they can't prove it otherwise.
Right, let's take
That
it
he
point
heard
by
monkey noises.
So this is, and I haven't been following it, so I don't have any of the detail, right? So what did Rudiger say?
He heard monkey charge.
He said he heard monkey.
Yeah, by the back from Tottenham.
And he complained during the game.
And he complained during the game. He showed the same expression of what they were chanting whilst the game was going on. Then the game was stopped.
Okay.
So it's the first Premiership game ever to be
So
stopped
it's
because of that.
monkey chanting.
The noise is
Yeah.
and he did the gesture.
Yeah.
He
And the
just-
police
yeah,
and Tottenham
yeah.
investigated it.
Mhm.
They had access to all the CCTV footage
In our
and everything,
£1 billion stadium.
right? And they didn't find anything.
Okay. What does that mean?
So it's one of two things, right? Either Rudiger's made a mistake,
No.
Did he
What's the
rather
other?
make a mistake?
What's the other one?
or incompetence.
Right.
Police
Tot-
and Tottenham
right.
are incompetent.
Yeah.
So
Let
it's
him
one of
finish.
the-
Yeah, that's not good point.
Because, you know, as we look at this air crash, Iran initially said they didn't fire a missile.
Right.
Now they've said, oh, we did.
Yeah.
So it could be the same.
Yeah. That's right.
But it sounds cut out.
So my view, therefore, if those are the two options, my view is either Rudiger comes out and says, you know what,
No.
I made a mistake.
No.
Hold on. Either Rudiger comes out and says, I made a mistake.
Why would he?
Hold on. The options are either Rudiger comes out and says, I made a mistake, or he fronts up and says, you know what, Tottenham and the police are incompetent. I know what I heard, and I'm sticking by that. That's my view.
The latter is an option potentially. The former is
That's
not.
fine.
Is
That's fine.
absolutely not. Like we've had. This is why we've been debating this all week. Yeah. If and this is extreme. if you're a victim of other kind of physical abuses, for example rape, if it's in court, it's thrown out, not because they're found irrefutably innocent, the prospective perpetrator of this act. You don't then ask the potential victim to come out and make a statement saying, oh, I made a mistake. You don't. Why would you ask a victim of race and... But you're not listening to me. Why would you ask a potential victim...
I'm saying he's got two options. What isn't an option as
The
far as
former
I'm
isn't.
concerned, what isn't an option is for him to say nothing.
It is an option.
I don't think
It's not. He doesn't say anything. He's a
It's not an
victim.
option.
This
As
is the
far as I'm
problem.
concerned.
This is the problem. And this is why I feel so strongly about it. This is the problem with us as black. Why should we have to defend
Do you know-
ourselves when it comes to racism?
Gary,
and if
Gary.
they prove him that he's lied blatantly, he doesn't have to say anything.
Roberto, they've come out and said, they've come out and it's made him look like he's made a mistake.
No. If you can read, that's not what they've made him look like. Because
you
that's
can
not what
read
the
it, though.
statement says. And Gary, you know what they. You know
No,
what he
Gary
said.
said he's not up to speed with it, so you have to
No,
accept
but Gary,
that he's
Gary
not
knows the
aware.
statement that Tottenham put out because we posted the statement.
Are you ready?
He read it. He knows what they said, and he's smarter than
So
me.
what are you saying? They're making it like
He's
he's
smarter
lying.
than
No.
Okay.
Tottenham have supported Rudiger. They've said, we cannot prove either way. But we support him in this moment.
Yeah,
That's
so,
what they've said.
I mean,
They have to.
I mean,
Now wait off before you start. But you got to remember, he has a vested interest in you not getting this wrong.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah, so I'm not going to defend Tottenham.
Remember that. Let's
This is
remember
what I've
that.
been accused of.
And that's what's so surprising. No, but genuinely, that's so
Let's
surprising.
remember that.
That's what's so surprising, Gary.
no, but it's not whether we protect or not protect. We just got to look at what's happened.
Yeah.
The likelihood is there was noises.
Yeah.
But who do you attribute that noise to is probably where they're saying it's inconclusive. Because
My understanding is that
the
they couldn't
noise
find
that's being
any
made-
evidence of it.
yeah, but who do you attribute it to? And then
No,
say
but
you
Tosh,
were making that
My
noise.
understanding is that they couldn't find the noise. It's not like they're saying, yeah, we heard the noise, but we couldn't find out where it's coming
Yeah.
from. And again, I may have got it wrong,
Yeah.
but my understanding is that there's no evidence to his claim.
But I know it'd be
Yeah.
from the TV cameras where you'd have mics. And the TVs, them type of cameras in there, you're not gonna have no mics.
Now,
in there.
listen,
Yeah, but you're not looking at every single fan in the ground at any one point. You've
At a
got
certain place.
CCTV that picks up if there's an incident, then start saying, look, these
Right.
guys are flying. But people are talking. You're not picking up everyone who's making a noise. So you can understand why that has been said, that it's inconclusive.
Yeah.
It's not saying that it didn't happen. But in the same thing with the John Terry case, it's inconclusive that he called.
John Terry.
Yeah, but we all saw it. But what in a criminal court, it has to be without reasonable doubt.
Exactly.
Whereas in civil, what you could have got
threshold's
away with
lower.
it. So what the Premiership done? Exactly. So that's the whole point. So what they're saying is, at the moment, if we give this to the authorities,
It's
to
not
now,
gonna- it's not
it's
gonna
not
be
going
able
to
to- it's not
prove
gonna go
anything
nowhere.
because somebody's making a sound is saying, well, I wasn't making that sound. It sounds coming from somewhere else. So I can understand why it's not being proven.
But my issue is Rudiger doesn't have to say anything. And you know what's most disappointing? And it's not just Gary knows what I'm referring to. It's not just the conversation we was having with certain people.
Yeah.
There's some Tottenham fans of colour
Yeah.
who are suggesting Rudiger should apologise.
Well, I haven't read that, but
I know you would think that. I know you would
I'm
think that.
astounded.
And I'm not just saying who you think I'm referring to. There's actually people, I've seen it. who
But you
think
know
he
where
should
this
apologise.
comes from? Do you remember one of the Chelsea fans accused the referee of making a racist statement after a game? I think it was Man United versus Chelsea, and there was this big hoo-ha. And then they investigated, and then Chelsea had to apologise for the statement that they made about the referee.
Yeah.
So there's this perception that Chelsea players make up,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
circumstances. Yeah, so that's where it comes from.
Yeah. Tosh.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, that's exactly what the issue
Right.
is.
And this guy Rudiger, he
Yeah.
got fooled
Form for what?
for being a bit. I just don't
Come
like.
on.
Talk the thing, Gary, man.
Talk
Talk
the thing, man. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
No,
man.
but what I'm trying to say to you is this is
No, I'm
why
not
the
talking
issue.
about you.
Yeah, because
it's
Chelsea,
that kind of
Chelsea.
sentiment I'm hearing, bro.
No,
I
no,
can't believe
yeah,
it.
because
I'm
Chelsea.
not saying that he's got fooled for making foolish racial. I'm
You
not
got
saying
fooled for what then?
Right? but he's got form for not telling the truth.
Bro, listen.
Yeah,
I
See,
think.
so that's it. So what I'm trying to say is, you can understand noise in a stadium. You got to identify. If it was a punch up and somebody jumped on the pitch, and then it's easy, and that's why there's the problem. So we can't just go and say that the authorities are not doing their job. You've got to have. You can't just, because we could be in the stadium laughing and making a gesture, and then we interpreted that we were being racist. So we have to be careful.
My issue isn't with Tottenham Hotspur, the club, or the Metropolitan Police.
Right.
If it's inconclusive, it's inconclusive.
Yeah.
My issue is the narrative of certain fans of colour.
Yes.
They suggest, he should apologise, bro.
That's why I'm
It's
very
like you
keen.
ain't experienced racism yourself.
Listen,
Are you
very
being asked to apologise if things are about inconclusive? Inconclusive?
Yeah.
That's offensive, bro.
And I totally
Put
agree with that.
Put your race before your club. And that's not bad. Bro, I know one guy, I swear he's a season ticket holder of Tottenham Hotspurs, right? Mm-hmm. He said once, he heard one guy, he was in the away stand, and he heard a guy make a racist comment to one of their players. He punched him in the back of the head, and a big melee started. Got to punch up with this guy, This guy's now saying, hey, if we don't find any conclusive evidence, Rudiger should apologise. Put your affiliation to your club aside. Remember who you are and what you've been through as a black Ghanaian man in this country.
Okay.
Remember who you are.
And I agree. And that's why I'm very keen for Rudiger to come out and make a statement.
Either way.
Either way.
But Gary, now that you're actually saying it, I can understand what you're saying a bit more. Right. When you're in text, sometimes it don't come across right.
A bit ignorant.
Yeah? Right, it don't come across right. But what I'm saying to you is this. Although I understand what you're saying, I don't agree with that. But he don't have to say nothing, bro.
Because he's not the most honest of players.
Bro, he could be Louis El Negrito Suarez, bro.
So we've gone from.
He could be that guy, bro. So, if it happens to him and he reports it,
so are we suggesting?
It's not the same, by the way. I'm just saying, it's not the
that
same.
there's some inaccuracies in what he's saying or what happened.
People are saying because it ain't been happening. There's certain people saying.
Because I don't know enough about it. What I am saying is, looking at him as a player, looking at the statements that have come out, right? I'm reading those statements thinking, you know what? It's not that they haven't, it's not that they've found the noise or they picked up on the noise, but they can't see where it's coming from. They are saying, we can't hear it.
Yeah, but the thing is,
right? So let's go back. Let's go back.
Reading that statement. Maybe I've misread it.
No, you haven't misread it.
They are basically saying, look, we can't pick up the noise.
And
that's at a state of the art. You got it, some £1 million stadium. That's not like at Stamford Bridge where it's a dump and they haven't got the facilities.
Gary.
So you're.
Let me put it in.
I was waiting for this.
No. Gosh, you will know this.
Yeah.
Shall I tell you why that's not correct? And this is probably leads to the bit about the inclusivity, like it's inconclusive. Well, there's only so much technology can do sound-wise, you know. Now look at this. Let me explain. Let me explain. You remember when Song got sent off before the incident happened?
Yes.
You know, every time he touched the ball, what happened? Loud boos.
Yeah.
Sound can't. So if in that scenario, if you're trying to hear sonically,
or monkey noise.
if you're trying to hear sonically,
He's trying to divert.
I know.
if you're trying to hear sonically, if you're trying to,
The only time it happens
if you're trying
is
to pick out,
it's Tottenham's fault.
if you're trying to pick out monkey noises,
No, he's not. He's trying to discredit.
if you're trying to pick out monkey noises out of a sea of poos, it's very difficult to do that.
And that's why I'm trying to say that, look, in this scenario, what caused the whole thing to blow up was Rudiger's action before the game was stopped.
Yes.
Because he interpreted what was going on in the crowd. And that's why the game was stopped.
Are you suggesting that maybe you're misinterpreting?
That's not impossible. That's
not impossible. But that doesn't mean that he should apologise or he's done something wrong.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that his perception of what noise he's hearing is
monkey talk.
Is related to that, discriminatory behaviour. So he's now said, okay, you guys, you think I'm whatever, and then he's made that gesture. The captain went over to the referee. The game was stopped. It was then announced on the stadium as usual, and that's what's created the.
Has Rudiger played the game since?
Yes.
What was the response of the crowd from the away crowd?
If I accuse you of being a thief,
Yes.
but I've misinterpreted it,
Yes.
do I not owe you an apology?
No, because we
Reason
would, go
why
through,
you
we
approved
would
him.
go through the normal ways of determining whether or not you were right or I'm wrong.
I say you're a thief.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I got it wrong.
Yeah.
No, Gary.
Gary
No,
just
no,
wants-
no, no,
Gary
no,
wants
no,
the
no,
answer.
no.
He
No,
wants
no,
one.
no.
He's
No.
only searching for an answer.
You're saying
Completely
because
different
if you get
circumstances.
stopped on the streets and you're accused, as we used to go through the world of suspected of committing a crime when we had sus,
Yeah.
did the police apologise when it was proven in court that you weren't?
But they should have.
But they didn't.
But they did
But they
it.
should have.
And that's what's gone on. So let's not.
Just
What
because
was shoulda,
one
coulda,
person
woulda
doesn't do it,
doesn't stand in.
Yeah, but Tosh, just
Yeah.
because one person doesn't do
Yeah.
it, doesn't mean you should.
But that's the nature of the situation. When you go to court and you get off of whatever's happened of a charge, you don't get an apology from the Metropolitan Police because you were found not guilty.
And that's reason
So
because they can justify them nicking you.
Yeah.
They think they've got reason.
They got
to
reason.
nick you or to charge you with whatever. They can justify
I'm even
to
astounded
themselves.
that you brought
They
that
understand.
into this conversation.
This is what you said the other day. This is what
This is a man of the learned system, the law society.
All I'm saying is this, right? I'm not saying that Rudiger has made a mistake.
Yeah.
But if he has,
Gary, like, if he has, he should.
Yeah, go on.
Gary, but the problem is this. Like, he has nothing to gain, point one.
I
from
think you
making
should give him a red card.
I
mean, he knows better.
No, like, this is in context here. So, the statement was put out by Lee. I think you won't mind me saying. He posted the statement.
Yeah.
And you know when I read, I'm thinking straight away. Let these guys know the law.
They know the
So
law.
as I've read it, you know something you have to double check because you want to make sure you don't want to be wrong because it's a serious conversation. So I reread it again and I made sure I've read it word for word, and there's very key phrases in that sentence. So obviously Lee's of a certain mind, yeah,
because he's a Chelsea fan.
yeah, maybe, and Gary's of a certain mind. But I think Gary
But you
knows.
saw the statement I put out.
Yeah,
okay?
but Tosh, I know that. You know, you just
I'm
know certain
horrified.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even have to read what you said. I knew Tosh wouldn't think Rudiger had to apologise.
Yeah.
I was surprised at Gary. With a simple fact, it was
Because
Tottenham
you
as well.
misunderstood. You misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've said
I'm not
that to you
saying-
though. I've said that to you.
I'm not saying that Rudiger should apologise.
Yeah.
Okay. What I am saying is that if Rudiger turns around and says to us, you know what, I've made a mistake, then I think
But
we should
he-
come
I
out
don't
and
think
say,
he
He
"Well,
hasn't made a mistake,
If you
Gary.
hear what
That's
you
the
hear,
point.
do you?
That's the
If
point.
you hear what
He
you
hasn't
hear,
made a mistake. He's interpreted because his action has happened during the game.
It's not very a mistake.
No, it's not a mistake.
On the basis that it is a mistake.
No, you're going on the basis that Tottenham cannot provide any evidence to prove that these sounds were made. That's what you're saying. But Rudiger's saying, well, you're mistaken. I heard it.
That's why Rudiger should come out with a statement and say,
Yeah,
you're
well,
mistaken.
He shouldn't have to say anything.
He shouldn't have to.
shouldn't have to say
It's
anything.
been investigated. We move on. That's it. That's the end of the matter.
Like sonically, if there was a sufficient number of people making their noises, they may have been able to pick it up.
Right.
But under the circumstances, it was a handful of people out of 60,000 who every time he touched the ball, they booed him. They're not going to be able to draw out a couple 10 man doing monkey sounds. It's not going to happen, Gary.
It happened spontaneously
Yeah.
because the situation is they believe that he got Son sent off unjustifiably. That's what
Chelsea
caused the
fans
problem.
have falls for life, right?
Chelsea fans or the players?
Sorry,
Yeah.
have falls for life.
Yes, we do know that. And we're not going to dispute that, but you can't keep adding everything to one narrative.
And Gary, when certain Tottenham fans are saying he should apologise,
Just
it's
so that we're
mad.
clear, as far as I'm concerned,
Yes.
there are two options here.
Okay, let's hear that.
He either turns around and says, I'm a statement, right? He comes out with a statement. Or he turns around and fights and says, you know what? The police are incompetent, the Tottenham are incompetent. I know what I heard. That's the truth of the situation.
Okay.
Yeah? I'd much rather
Okay, let me
you front up.
Gary.
fronts up.
Gary.
I want you to change that
I'd much rather
statement.
he chooses the second option.
Okay, Gary.
Oh, right.
Gary, but do you know what the problem with that statement? You know what the problem with that is? When he was quiet, he was subjected to racist abuse, threats on his life, etc., etc. So now if he comes out now and says, you lot all wrong, ban you lot, yeah, it's gonna be even worse, Gary. He ain't saying nothing, he don't need to say nothing. It's gonna make it worse for him.
So the only thing I wanted to say about
Alright,
this
let's
before we
move
move on,
Yeah.
well, first of all, that Man City fan, 5 years ban, we should be doing lifetime bans, and how would everyone feel about if they deducted 3 points?
I think it's too early for that.
Because they
What,
are
from Liverpool?
no.
Oh,
So
okay.
if someone from
They're gonna need a couple more. They're gonna need a solid 6 at least. We're gonna need a solid 6.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
We're gonna need at least a solid 6 to
Because-
make it a thing, bro.
Because you know the way they got Sterling upset, I thought there was some ungamemanship.
But
So I
how
think
would
he
everyone
went
feel
from
about obviously that being a standard thing? If there's a warning, if there's monkey tracks or there's racism in the stadium, there's a warning, and then if there's a continuation, 3 points are deducted.
Points is then
But
Points,
you
I tell you what, it
couldn't-
would so stop.
But you couldn't do that in one game.
but
Procedurally, it wouldn't work after a game.
I
It
don't
would
think
be
it's not.
extreme. You'd go to the court of arbitration and they'd win every single time. You'd have to be
Because you know what, you could even say, you could determine what fans it is.
Yeah, because you
Because
could have some
who
road
did you get the
fans
points from?
that got into your
Yeah,
stadium.
just for that.
Yeah.
I would go
but I'm
City
saying-
games and make up noise.
No, but
I'll go
I'm
City games and
I'm
make up
saying in
noise.
terms
Do
of
you
saying
understand?
that
But you're eventually going to get back.
is it the Man City versus Liverpool? The Man City fan.
No, wasn't
what
it?
game was
No,
that?
it was United versus City. wasn't it?
United versus City. So say they found that guy,
Yeah.
and he's a City fan. So for them to deduct 3 points from
That's too
City,
soon. Only because I know, in terms of arbitration and appeals, every single time, if you were so extreme that it happened after one game, it'd get dashed out. They'd get them 3 points back
Deduct the
every
points,
time.
3 points.
It won't, Gary won't work. It won't
No, it
work.
won't work. There's so,
They're in
there's,
the
so
pocket.
much,
Okay.
there's so much ticket swapping nowadays as well. When people actually want to see their club.
Yeah.
So you might have a thing of where you've got Everton fans sitting in the Arsenal end.
Yeah,
Now, if you've
but-
got Everton fans sitting in the Arsenal end that starts doing a madness here. So what? You take away the 3 points.
No, but you're going to have other fans in there that are saying, hold on a second, what are you doing?
right?
So you
That's
can't
what I
just
think.
say,
But we
just
had-
because they're sitting in there,
But we
that
had
they're
that
going to
anyway.
believe.
We had that anyway.
Yeah, but
Even-
that's
even
not
when
going
you
to
say
that's not
that,
going to
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Even the way you say
No.
that, it's not. It's, that whole 3 points thing for me is not going to work.
It's not gonna
because
work. I
you
think-
keep
I
on,
think
if
it
you,
would.
you can keep on trying that and all of that stuff. But what I'm going to say is that we're going to have too many different fans in different places,
Yeah.
and there's going to be certain fans that actually don't care.
Yeah, but
There's gonna be certain fans that actually
eventually,
don't care.
okay, let's put it on the other narrative. This fan has been banned. So if you've got fans that have done that, the club bans them. You can't get back into a ground again. All of a sudden, your face is known. You're banned. So,
That's
how
what I'm
many
saying, that's
fans are
fine.
going to get banned before it stops? So it would stop. It would stop
I
because
think-
the same fans
Hold
can't. They can't keep going to different grounds. They're going to get banned. You get a lifetime ban for football.
I just go in there and just.
Yeah, but you're going to get banned.
Yeah,
so
I'll
you
get
can't
banned.
do it no more.
I'll get banned.
Not every fan is going to go and say,
How
"Oh
many,
yeah, let's go
how
and
many
boot."
players have been banned and just gone back into the stadium?
Yeah, of course you can.
No,
Figure. If you're gonna deduct points
Yeah.
from a team, from a supporter's team,
Yeah.
you've got to determine who they support.
Yeah.
So all it take is for Leicester fans to go to Liverpool games, do monkey chants,
Okay, let me.
5 times. Next thing you know, we're
Right.
level with points.
Okay, let's
think
put
about
this in.
it.
I
You can't
go
do that.
to Arsenal's ground and boot. I get banned, and I'm
I'm
in
gonna get
court.
deducted points.
Hold on, and then Arsenal get. How many people know that I'm an Arsenal fan, or how many people know I'm a Tottenham fan? Let's be real.
Yeah, but that's you. Tom.
Yeah,
That's
no,
you
no,
in
but
there.
that's what's going to happen.
mean, there's
you
social
can't,
media
you
to back
can't
up these
pretend to
things.
be another fan
No,
and nobody knows that
you
you're
don't even
of
have
the
to sit.
opposition.
You don't even have to sit with the fans. You can sit.
No,
with
no, no.
Okay, here it is. What fan is Kevin? What team is he for?
He's an Arsenal fan.
Because you said last week.
Exactly.
That's it.
So I know. So if I saw him in the Tottenham fan,
Well,
it would have
I
been
know
on
he's not
social
in.
media. This guy supports Arsenal.
Yeah.
What is? How is he causing
Yeah,
Tottenham to be?
Tosh.
Yeah, it would get around.
Tosh.
That doesn't
Tosh.
exist.
Tosh.
I don't disagree with potential of 3 point deduction. but from getting from point A to point B, which is 3 points, it's so difficult. Like, it would have to be.
They can't even.
Your club would have to be encouraging an environment that allows for racism.
Okay.
You just you being a racist, me being a racist, Kerry being a racist, etc. And it have to be a group.
FIFA, UEFA cannot even withhold or uphold the fair play, the money spending of teams. They can't even do that. They can't even do that. They can't. Man City are buying who they want when they want. Chelsea are getting a chance. There's loopholes all over it.
We're not disputing. We're not.
So what I'm saying is, how do you think they're going to be taking away
from teams? But because they already do it.
Where they do it?
They do. Hold on. So go into our own league and go and look at the clubs that have been deducted points.
But that's
you just said they can't.
No. What I'm saying, they can't. I'm talking about the
They
fair
are
play.
not holding it. Queen's Park Rangers suffered it.
Yeah.
There are other clubs in the
I'm talking about Premiership.
I know about financial fair play. I know it very well.
They're both. Totally right. They're both connected. But what I think Mark's trying to say is this: with, for example, Man City, their business goes beyond City. So say for instance, I'll give you an example. Remember a couple of years ago when they bought the naming rights for the Emirates, when they renewed it was some ridiculous amount, like
they bought it through their own company.
Right. So the reason why they did that was because they were running afoul of financial fair play. So just to balance the books out, they said Company B, even though we're the same company, buy the naming right for some mad price.
Do you know?
That's what they do. That's what the big boys do.
Do you know that they bought? I know I'm on it. They bought another football team. In order for them to be able to get John, I think it was Frank Lampard. They bought another team, and in order for him to go there, so that they could have it, so it wasn't seen as money they didn't spend. Like there's ways around this stuff.
But that's why the big boys. Scotch is right, but that's the only thing is that's why the big boys can do that because they invest in other big, like they're owned by other bigger companies that they'll move money around and accounting wise.
But what Gary is saying is start the process and at least see it.
Country.
Well, it's not. We started VAR.
And what I'm saying is,
whether it's working or it's not working,
I'm talking about 3
points.
I'm talking about 3 points is difficult. Lifetime ban on fans isn't difficult.
Listen,
3 points is.
It's not because it happened to clubs and it will continue. You've got to do it.
A club will never get deducted 3 points for one fan being racist.
I'm not disputing.
3 fans for being racist.
I didn't say that.
It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm just telling you.
I don't know how you're going to stop somebody.
It has to be hundreds. It has to be a substantial section. That's the reality. The lifetime ban thing, right, you can do that like that. Right. But the 3 points, it will fall on its face every single time. If you're talking about those numbers.
If it's implemented, we can only see if it is. If it's
and
not,
it's
fans, speculation.
Yeah. But the numbers of fans we're seeing that are being found guilty of these offences is not sufficient enough for them to be deducted points.
Hit them in the pocket. That's the only way.
Oh yeah, you can bang them from away games. You can bang the fans from away games.
What's £20,000?
No, I'm talking about points. Talk about points.
No, but I'm saying obviously that's why I'm talking about the points because obviously the fines. Some of these fines, it's nothing to these clubs.
But if you hit them with points, it could be the difference between qualifying for Champions League.
Right.
Or
relegation.
But Gary,
and that is the money.
Gary, under
but it's not straightforward.
No, but uncle, no offence, yeah. This is not in a dig, but under that scenario that Gary's putting forward, Arsenal would be affected, Liverpool would be affected. You'd be in relegation trouble, bro.
Exactly.
You'll be like literally. It's not even a diss. It would be peak, bro. And that's why it will never hold up. It has to be a substantial number of people. Tottenham would be there's no team that would be exempt.
We've had an incident that's inconclusive. So we're exonerated.
No, you're not, bro. But this is what I'm saying. You got to remember.
We're exonerated.
There's studies being done that say Liverpool now have gone from Suarez from being one of the most inclusive clubs in football. They still got incidents of racism. All clubs do. I'm just saying, even Arsenal will be affected. Tottenham will be affected.
We are exonerated.
Man United will be in
Yeah,
relegation. They will be bottom.
We are exonerated.
You still got racist.
We are
at your club, bro.
exonerated.
You still, so
We
you're
are
saying you've got no
exonerated.
racists at your club?
We are
It wasn't
exonerated.
Yeah, from that incident.
And we are
From
exonerated.
that incident.
There has been no proof
Gary,
of that. There is no
Gary,
proof
Gary,
that
Gary,
we have ever done anything.
The thing is, it's not even a dig. It's just a
I
harsh
mean, well,
reality,
you could
know
only.
what I'm
I mean,
saying?
you got the evidence on Arsenal
Like,
TV.
like
so,
don't
you
get
know,
me
at the end
wrong.
of the day,
For
we don't
example,
need-
with Arsenal,
What evidence?
like nothing
Of the
incidents,
abuse that
reported
you've been
incidents
giving
were
to your
single
players.
figures. They were,
Yeah.
but it's still they've been reported incidences.
Yeah.
Man United are like, it'd be mad for them.
Yeah.
They would be like on Nil Poir or something. There would no place. Do you understand? But that's why, if I think that as a person of colour who's been a victim, we've all been a victim of racism probably. Yeah. If a smart, person who works for these clubs will have to argue that in court, and it will get thrown out every single time. It has to be sustained.
Points. Hit them with points.
Alright, so on to my next topic, the game of the weekend. Spurs versus
The game of the
Liverpool. Yeah, it's the game of the weekend.
Game of the weekend, definitely.
That's the biggest game of the
Can
week
I
of this
start?
weekend.
Can I
No,
start?
you've been talking for years, bro.
Can I start?
Thank you. Thank you.
The one thing I wanted to say is Klopp talking with his chest. Obviously, him and Mourinho have a bit of back and forth, which makes it even more interesting.
Yeah.
But Klopp said, "Boy, basically, we're gonna surprise you. So whatever you think you're preparing for, we're gonna come with something different."
Yeah, but you're right. Can I just take a moment?
Yes,
I want
sure.
to thank Tottenham Hotspurs from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank them. I want to thank them.
Wow.
I don't think they realise it was them that started this for all you. It's all the issues you had. It was the 4-1 at Wembley that they give us that just changed the narrative. They woke up the Giants. So I want to thank them. I ain't got nothing negative to say about Tottenham Hotspurs. I thank them from the bottom of my heart. Seeing Lovren, Dejan Lovren's been a different animal since they did that to him when he got subbed at half time. So I truly, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank Tottenham Hotspurs. That started it all off, bro. The reign of terror, brother, started off because of Tottenham Hotspurs.
Tottenham are gonna get one.
You got to talk louder.
Tottenham are gonna get one.
Well, I hope you're right, but I thank them, bro. Seriously. Seriously, bro. They whacked us up that day, bro. But it's not been the same since.
I think it's actually a blessing that they don't actually back him.
Yeah.
I genuinely think the pace up front will be the problem.
Yeah.
That may cause.
With Son back.
With Son.
And Son
Lucas
suspended.
Moura.
No, I mean,
Is he back? Son.
Yeah.
and don't get me
He's
wrong.
only banned.
I'm being slightly sarcastic, obviously, but I don't think it's guaranteed we're gonna win. I'm not gonna say that. I believe we will win. I don't think by no means, but it's mad. That whooping we held triggered something in us, bro. And even Klopp was saying it in the week.
How dare you guys?
It is, bro. Thank you, Tottenham.
you guys talk about the great white hope that is Harry Kane?
That's not me. I mentioned Harry Kane once, man.
Be better.
I
We're
mentioned
not
Harry
mentioning
Kane.
Harry Kane. Harry Kane is injured. We don't need to mention him in this fixture.
Tottenham against Liverpool are strong without Harry Kane, just for the record.
100%.
So I'm not mentioning Harry Kane.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
We might see a really good game of football.
Listen, Gary. When Harry Kane plays against Liverpool, Tottenham might as well be down to 10 men because he gets pocketed every time.
There you go.
So in the pocket. And I'm not
There is
disrespecting.
nothing I need to add to
With
this
Son,
conversation.
with Son, he's unpredictable.
animal,
He's
man.
a different. You don't want him running at you.
We don't want him going through them gears.
The thing about with Lucas,
I just don't want Son playing against us, period.
It's true.
And Lucas Moura, to be
Yeah,
honest
it's
with
real.
you.
It's real.
If
But
they
you
two
don't-
were out, I'll be like, oh yes.
because you don't know what
Like,
Lucas Moura is
100%.
going to turn up.
Don't know.
You don't know which one's going to turn up.
No,
If the Lucas Moura that should turn up turns up, then it could be
Because
problems.
I've seen Lucas, forget Son, because everyone knows what I think about Son.
Yeah.
You see,
What I've seen Lucas do in between the lines against Liverpool
Yeah.
makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Bro, it's awkward,
Yeah,
bro.
it's awkward.
Son, I've said it from the beginning, when everyone was saying, even though I big up Harry Kane said he's a worldie, yeah, I know Tosh don't agree, but I said Son is the number one in that team from day. But Lucas Moura makes me feel uncomfortable when he plays against Liverpool from day one. It's like he's got something to prove and he wanted us to be the team he proves
The
it.
tester. You're the
Yeah,
tester.
he makes it uncomfortable for us. So I would have rather Kane play, I'll be honest with you.
So Tosh, the question for you is,
Jose spoke a lot this week about changing Tottenham's style of play.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you do play to accommodate Harry Kane.
Exactly.
I'm happy that he's highlighted that. I know you would have been happy that he highlighted
I
that.
put it on the forum.
But
but Tuss been saying it for years.
Of course.
You see, and you see, this is why I love that we got Mourinho. And I said it as soon as he arrived, that Harry Kane's days are numbered. And I don't care whichever way it's happened, injury or he comes out. But Tottenham have to play a different style of football. And in this rhetorical way that Mourinho made the announcement yesterday, he's making the deluded Tottenham fans understand he's changing Tottenham's front play. So how long Kane takes, I don't really care. We need to have a plan B, C to play
April,
football.
April.
Thank you. Thank you.
Might not even come back on the season.
I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is Levy now recognising he's got to go into the transfer thing and buy some strikers to now supplement the team and stop sitting on this system of the Lucas Moura and everybody else jumping in when our one-dimensional play of this one idiot up front is now the way that we play. It is.
I don't really understand.
You don't like him?
You don't like him now?
No. This is the whole reason why we've not moved forward for the 4 or 5 years of Poch's reign, because we've had this one. As soon as he's injured, nobody else can play because they've had no game time. So now we come against what you've just classified as the biggest game of the season, and look what Mourinho has actually said. Forget what I say. Look at a world-class manager saying we are hampered because of the system that's been going on. That's not me, and I've been saying it for 5 years, and I'm the one who's been being cussed. So now everyone can see it. So I don't even care if the score's 9-0 like the Southampton game, because it's time deluded fans realise that this is what Poch done to the club. Thank you.
You like that, Gary, yeah?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's what's happened. You know, the biggest game of the season, now the man's injured. Oh, what do we do? Well, we know what we got to do, and what they're worried about is we all know how Liverpool play. What people don't know is how Tottenham play without Harry Kane. Now we might have a chance of withholding them from beating us with a crazy score, because nobody knows how we're going to set up. We got no Sissoko, no Danny Rose, the two defenders, Vertonghen and Alderweireld, are past their time now. They're getting caught out all the time. You got the right back situation with Aurier, a bit crazy. You got Davinson Sanchez, who couldn't head his way out of a paper bag. The midfield, you got Harry Winks, who's uncertain. You got Ericsson, who's supposed to be staying, going, coming, we don't know. And then you got Dele Alli, who's one trick away from being in the circus. So for me, I don't know what's going on.
What do you support?
No, he tells it how it is.
Yeah.
Josh tells it how it
Years.
is. Yeah.
Wow.
Years for years.
Yeah, so
Poch
you've
is
only got
years of
two players, Lucas Moura and Son, that I could probably give credibility to. You got lame duck Lamala that's coming back from injury. Yeah. So for me, right now, this is nothing to do with Mourinho. Mourinho's picked up a pile of trouble and he's trying to sort it out. So if we can get to next season without being embarrassed to our position, I'll be happy. But the game, I can't tell you what's going to happen, because there's no defensive system. I don't know how he's going to play the game.
But are you excited to know?
Yeah, I'm excited because now we've got to play a system that doesn't include the way that we've been playing with this one lone How could you? I don't even know how the club had that ideology of playing with one man up front.
That's not even too bad. It's the remember we talked about player management.
Yeah.
And we talked about player management.
Yeah.
How, like, you talked about the FA Cup game that last season. They put him on at 87 minutes. When you had Llorentes, it was the fact that they weren't utilising him at all.
Exactly.
Giving him like a 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there.
It was less
just,
than that.
It was a joke.
Yeah, but it just wasn't happening.
It was a bench setter.
And then,
He was a World Cup winner,
now,
you know.
if you really analyse what Mourinho said, Tottenham have no striker. How can you not have a striker in the reserves, the academy, the under 15s? Where are the? This is supposed to be the club that was challenging for the league. Where is the striker? So you're saying, oh well, it's Son, it's more. No, they're attacking midfielders pushed into a striking position. And Dele Alli, as I said, one trick away from joining the circus. You watch him, I'm thinking, why are you trying to flick a ball? Play the ball. You're a footballer. You're not a salad. This isn't park football. Yeah, I'm a salad, man. What kind of foolishness is that? I'm disappointed because it's taken us to get to this situation for everyone to realise Tottenham have got away with it because of that Champions League final last year. The team has played disastrous for over 40 games. And that's why we're in this situation.
So, Roberto, how likely is the African Player of the Year to score in this fixture?
Very likely.
Yeah? More than one?
I'm not, bro. I think goals are shared around our team, so he'll get at least. I think he'll get at least one. And I'm not being cocky. I think the game might be tighter than people expect because Mourinho is a notorious spoiler, and he definitely knows how to set a team up.
He'll park the bus.
Yeah, I think he'll get at least one. I don't know. He
He'll
might.
park the bus.
I think we will win,
Yeah.
but I genuinely do not know what we're going to see in terms of
You see what I'm saying?
But you know
and
what?
that's because they can't work out what team we're going to play.
Well, that's
normally
what I
you
will
would
say.
know how to say, but because now there's a problem.
Yeah.
I think that's what I will say. I think if Mourinho set out to park the bus and Kane was up top and Kane was available, then I'd say, you know what, there's no chance. But the fact that Kane's not available now and he can park the bus and potentially counter attack now with that pace going forward, then he has that in his locker now. That's what he does have. But with Kane, it gives them that one-dimensional option, and it's just like, you know what, nah, we're not going to be able to
could
break.
easily, like, we could catch literally, like, we could destroy them. We could.
Yeah.
But it might not happen. I genuinely don't know.
Look, and the other thing that I was spoken about, which is what has really annoyed me, is how can we not play on our own home pitch? Go and look at the stats. How many games we have now lost. And this is our home ground. The team cannot play at home. And who's coming? Supposedly the best club in the world. Yeah, and I have to use the word supposedly because you haven't reached the end of the season. You haven't reached the end of the season. Yeah, you haven't reached the end of the season. You've played some Asian clubs that their man them under strict orders to lose when the betting scams are going on. So supposedly best club in the world's coming. And the team can't play on its own pitch.
What did you not do? Did you just change the ground, or did you move? Did you change the stadium, or did you move grounds in overall? Tottenham.
This pitch is much bigger. Remember Tottenham?
So they changed it.
See, this is what a lot of people don't realise.
So the pitch-
We had one of the smallest pitches
Oh,
in
he's
the
one of
Premiership.
the smallest in the
league.
Yeah,
And now, because they went to
you got supposed to be you see, when you go away, if you go away to Tottenham, you got that little corner.
Yeah, the corner.
It's like 1,000 people. It's like
Horrible.
2,000 tops.
The little corner stretch is horrible. Yeah, and when they're away.
Yeah, but you do that to us when we play. Well, not your Arsenal do it to
No, but in
us.
terms of allocation,
No, it's the same.
White
It was
Hart
the
Lane
same.
was one of the smallest allocations in the league.
But that's
It was,
nothing to
man.
do with it. It's the pitch. The pitch
No,
was
what
on
I'm
top.
saying is, I'm
the
saying
pitch.
But
It's
you
not
know what?
whether the
This is
fans
the
or not.
same-
No, but what I'm
This
saying
is
is
the same thing that
because
happens
of
at
the size
Arsenal,
of the
though.
stadium.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that happened to Arsenal when we moved to the Emirates, you know,
Arsenal.
because
Thank
there
you.
was a period where we would either win 3-1 or draw 2-2.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't really play properly on
But
the
no,
pitch,
but
fam.
let me say, what happened is Tottenham's pitch now is the same as Wembley. But Tottenham struggled eventually to win at Wembley and get over it. Right, so because the game that Poch had initially created was a close, fast wing backs. But when you got space, you can't play that. And that's why That's why Dele Alli's game has gone to pot.
Oh,
Because now he's got an extra 5 yards in front of him before he can do his circus trick. And it ain't working. So now the brother's saying, all right, do your trick. But you're by yourself, but do your trick.
Yeah. Well, now I know that. I'm thankful for it, man.
Yeah.
Well done to your new stadium. Great. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, that's it. So,
But I do fancy Tottenham.
Hey?
I fancy Tottenham to win. I think it's written in the stars.
I think.
I think it's written in the
The thing is
stars.
that I want him to win.
We all want somebody. I want
win.
somebody
No,
to
I
win.
win. If they win today, if Liverpool win today, 1 year straight.
No, it's a year already. It's gone.
No, it's gone a year. It was the
Well,
January the
you're only
3rd.
on 44 days unbeaten.
Yes, January the 3rd was a year. January the 3rd was a year.
That's
They
what
were
the
unbeaten.
United game was the last
Yeah,
game
yeah.
before there was any chance to stop it. Yeah, if we win today,
Yeah.
we've got the best start of any of the leagues and the major top 5 leagues ever.
Mourinho
Yeah,
could
but
be the one
look,
to stop.
look,
Mourinho's the right person to stop that.
And
That's
he
that
would
guy.
just love to stop.
Yeah, he would love to do that.
Yeah, but you see, it's not the draw, it's the win.
Yeah,
And
that's the
what
thing,
the
the
problem
win,
we
yeah.
have is winning at our own ground. That's the
But
problem.
now Harry Kane's out of the team.
Yes.
You may see something different.
Remember, the first person to score at that stadium is Son. It's not Harry Kane. It's a Crystal Palace game that we played, and I think we won 2-1. But it's
2-0.
2-0, yeah. So it's Son.
Yeah.
So I kind of know that we can play better football, but we're starting against supposedly the best team in the world. So we'll have to see, you know. Please give my club some time to rejig, yeah?
You know Harry Kane's not going.
Look,
As much as I
let me tell you,
know
I
Harry
told
Kane's
you
not
as soon as he arrived, Harry Kane's days are numbered.
Harry's
And
not
I'm
getting
saying it on the forum, Harry Kane's days are numbered.
Yeah.
Because I know what Mourinho's, and I'll say it's a rhetorical statement he made on Friday. If you haven't read it, go and read it. He's told you,
Gents,
Take care, sir.
see that?
yeah.
He's told you, hey, club's hampered. I'm a world-class manager. I can't be hampered. That's what he's telling you.
Wow.
He cannot be. You brought me here. You've hampered me.
time.
Yeah, because of the system. It's got to change. Klopp's not hampered because if you watch his press conference, he said Klopp can play Firmino as a 9, a 10, Salah as this, Man. So he's telling you, give me the tools. That's what's happened. You know, that's why I said I love Mourinho turning up there. Things are gonna.
Because you knew
Yeah.
it's not just about.
Lores, you know, look at the mistakes he made in the World Cup and at Tottenham. Where is he today? He's at the club. And I said Harry Kane will be the next one. He might not be back because of an injury, but when he comes back, that system will have changed. And if he can't play in it, he'll move on.
So, as the transfer window's open, would you like to get a striker that's already in the Prem
Yes.
to come and join now in January?
I want the striker he talks about.
Danny
Danny
Ings.
Danny Ings. Danny Ings would suit Tottenham's play because of the speed and the way that it's set up. That's Danny Ings' type of team.
So Danny Ings with Song and Lucas next to him.
And Sissoko, set.
Danny Ings is a big boy player.
I'm telling you.
And he's also one of the most unluckiest players.
Yeah, he's unlucky, but
Very
hopefully he's
unlucky.
gone through. You
Very
know,
unlucky.
that's what
Very
Tottenham have to do. Not as Danny Rose says, go and Google a man from the Kazakhstan to come and play in your team.
Yeah.
You know, come on. This is you've got to have people up and running. Stop buying all these
So you know
players.
what my man from AC, allegedly, who they went to be sniffing around, his name,
Yeah.
Polish man. A Polish dude.
Yeah, but why are you buying? Go and drop money. Go and get.
I don't know
Ings.
who he is, by the way. I'm just asking. I don't know
If they drop 40 million for Ings, Southampton are going to take it. In this transfer window, that's what you go and do. You do not go and buy some player that's a bit part team, not made, like even this Thomas Lamar. He's not playing. We've already done that with Dombele. All of a sudden, oh, my hip, oh, my back, oh, I don't fancy this game. That's the rubbish that you're going to pick up.
Yeah.
You got to go and buy Premiership players. Even if you went and bought Austin, I prefer that because they know what they're, you know, they know what Saturday morning. Yeah, even if you bought him,
Where is he
I
now?
bought
Is
him.
he shot QPR?
West Brom.
He's at West Brom. But what I'm trying to say, these are the players you buy because of what's gone on. You can't go and buy some brother that's been sitting in the Italian or Spanish league not playing.
And more importantly, obviously buying from the Prem, they're in the Prem, so they already know the Prem.
They know the system.
It's just to adjust to what you guys are doing. And I guess with what Mourinho's just said, it's the perfect time because he's about to set up a new system.
Buy back Iheanacho.
Yeah.
Iheanacho.
Look at even Iheanacho. He's not getting much games, but when he comes on, he delivers. So it's players like that you sniff around. You've got to stop all, and this is why my issue is now going to go to Levy and saying, you're busy doing director of football, but what you're doing is doing director of balancing finance. That's what he's doing. Yeah, I'll go and pay 20 million for this guy, because Mourinho needs someone. That won't get Tottenham out of the issue that's about to unfold.